They were traveling to a villa for a vacation together, but in the middle of the trip they found a strange object that looked like an alien traveler. Unfortunately, one of them touched the foreign object and became a terrible zombie. At the beginning of the film, a man and a woman were seen looking for a way to climb. But they seemed lost and saw a woman who suddenly appeared in the forest. At first they were scared, then one of them approached the woman while asking, but suddenly the woman bit him. On the other hand, there was a man who was cleaning his van to prepare for a long trip. The man's name was Blasco. He became a travel driver for anyone who wanted to go to beautiful villas and beaches. His first passenger was a woman named Lydia. Blasco had been doing this job since he was young. Even an incident happened to him and made one of his eyes blind, so he wore sunglasses to cover it. Blasco picked up two other people. They were Marta and her mother named Mariella. Mariella was surprised to see the car that picked them up, even though she imagined that the car that brought them was luxurious and modern. Maybe even the age of the car was older than Blasco's age. Even so, they continued their journey. Marta apparently had a bad experience in her past. Her beautiful face was once burned because she didn't prioritize safety while cooking. Throughout the trip, Mariel often made noise and distracted Blasco. He still couldn't believe he got such an ugly and worn-out car. So Blasco turned up the music so Mariel couldn't hear him. Mariel got even more annoyed when she realized that Blasco wasn't taking the toll road. Instead, he was taking the old and long road, so their trip might take longer. Blasco didn't use the toll road because there was an additional fee, because Mariel and the others didn't want to pay the additional fee, so Blasco took the old road. The night was getting colder and made Blasco sleepy until he didn't realize he was seeing something. Blasco and the others got out to make sure nothing bad happened. Blasco saw that the object looked like something that came from the earth, while Marta tried to touch the strange object and something stuck to her finger. Not wanting to stay there for long, Mariel invited Blasco and Marta to immediately continue the journey and leave the location. But here Marta became strange. Her face became stiff and her eyes turned white with a blank stare. But soon she returned to normal and occasionally looked at her finger as if there was something alive there. A few moments later, Marta became stiff again. Then Blasco unconsciously hit a woman in the middle of the road. Blasco was initially unsure if it was human, but Lydia asked him to immediately turn around and help the woman. The woman had a rather scary face. She didn't move and there was no cell phone signal at that time. Feeling panicked, they finally took the woman to the hospital. While Lydia tried to revive the woman, but something terrible happened. The woman woke up and pulled Lydia as if inserting something into her neck. Lydia's appearance even changed and she lost all her hair, while the others were unaware of the incident. It turned out that the woman moved something to Lydia's body until she became ferocious and then tried to hurt Mariella. Initially, Blasco and Marta were unconscious. Then Mariella tried to throw the mucus from the woman's face at the glass. Chaos ensued. Luckily, they were able to save Mariella from Lydia, who had turned into a monster. They entered the forest and Blasco asked them to split up. The leady monster is still targeting them. Then Mariel asks Marta to split up and get away from him. Marta can't leave her mother alone, but she has to. Marta meets Blasco again and tries to get back to the van because behind Marta there is a monster chasing her. And it turns out it is Mariella who has become a monster. Now they have to go to the nearest town to refuel. Unfortunately, their car ran out, so they pushed the car. Unfortunately, the gas station was unattended, so Blasco secretly looked for gas from residents' cars while Marta waited in the car. At first it looked fine, but when they looked in the rearview mirror, it turned out that Mariella had followed them and arrived there. Marta tried to hide so as not to be caught. At the same time, the gas station guard appeared and was killed by Mariella. Marta was increasingly frightened while Blasco found something strange in the town. Many of the residents of the house lost their heads as if they had been attacked by a monster. Because of that, Blasco rushed back to the car and left with Marta. A few moments later, their car shook as if something was blocking it, and it turned out to be Mariella. Blasco suddenly braked his car, making Mariella fall and then run over Blasco. But Mariella was still standing and even continued to terrorize them. Not long after, Blasco fainted and was unconscious. In the back seat, Mariella appeared, making the atmosphere even more tense. Blasco woke up and crashed his car, hoping that Mariella would also be affected. But unfortunately, Mariella still held on and tried to put something on Marta. Blasco didn't stay still. He turned into a matador. Unfortunately, it was in vain. Mariella was stronger and cornered Blasco. Luckily, Marta came and finished Mariella off from behind. A small monster came out of Mariella's body and was then burned by them. After a long night, they continued their journey on foot and managed to reach their destination. Before that, Blasco wanted to drink while Marta went to the toilet. But for some reason, suddenly several people appeared strangely. Then Marta also appeared with a strange face and eyes. Is this a sign that Marta will become a monster just like Mariella?